Cool. Let's go to Gratitude Tuesday. My favorite day, if I get to say forever. Yes, right? And we have a special guest in the room, little babe. And you know what little babe turned into? Umpires. That's love that.
You gotta wait that one out.
You know what? It's never too early to start telling the baby. You know, right? About 23 years, she too will want a home.
So long.
All right, guys. So what is your gratitude this week? What are you grateful for this week?
Nick, I have one, if I may.
I would prefer.
Thank you. I don't have very far to go because I'm gonna say thank you to this friend of mine right here. And BJ has helped so many of us. I believe which in her entire, her skill to being in leadership roles around the Twin in a long list. So thank you for that. Thanks for being part of what we're doing here.
Steve, I'm gonna have you hold the microphone for a minute. Okay. One of the things that I'm grateful for is that Steve is grateful for us. So, because in his gratitude, Steve is always doing what he tells us we should do. And that is go out and get involved and make it happen. And Steve is going to be running a 5K at the end of the month in New York City.
We're running to you in the stretch, but I'll be.
We're going to run it in Iowa. Anybody who's going to just jump off a plane and start running. He's doing this for tunnels to towers. Are any of you familiar with T2T? Yes. All right. Steve, give us just a slight take on what that is.
That's very kind. Yeah, Tunnel to Towers. If you know about it, great. If you don't know about it, because I think it is one of the most impactful charities, fundraisers really in the country. We all remember 9/11. There's a fellow, I'll be real brief here. There's a fellow named Frank Siller, and a brother, Stephen Siller, and Stephen was one of the 2,900 people that died there. He was one of the many firefighters for the Stevens. So about 12 years ago, Frank Siller chose to do something about that memory, not only for the 2,900 families that had similar sorrows, but he jumped on the bandwagon, and since then, 12 years ago, he created Tunnel to Towers. And the name, which is a little bit unique, not memorable. What is suggested there is that as he was beginning this story about Tunnel to Towers, there is a pathway in the city of New York, I think to Brooklyn, to find out. But there's a tunnel that leads you through that leads you directly where the towers were. The finish line, that Nick is talking about, finish line of the 5K events. There'll be about 11,000 that'll be there, participate, walking and running and crawling, whatever you want to do. But the finish line is going to be exactly. And so we're going to be there, and if you're not familiar, you probably at least sometimes see an ad or two on TV that talks about simplicity in the affordability of many, many people sending in $11 a month. It's a gift, all that goes to about $130 a year, which arguably most everyone can do. So long answer, Nick, but I'm very, very involved with this to the point where Steve, but the fact is, I think this is a big deal. I send in a check in Hypnosis. I send in a check relatively modest, but every single closing that I have, real estate transaction, not wrong. It's just I'm kind of behind this thing, so you didn't know how to keep rolling. But if you just keep that in mind, it's something that you might want to get more familiar with. And it will be along with 11,000 people. We can send and doing this one 5 games.
Well, one of the things I think that is incredible is you continue to come from contribution. And so our contribution is this. He's got a little fundraiser that he's doing. Sean in the back sent out, and feel free to give. Yeah, Sean. And so feel free to participate, you guys. We're gonna be tracking him the day of. We have some other things in mind, but here's the thing. We appreciate you and living who we are and having contribution and constantly trying to find ways that you can enrich other people's lives. So thank you, brother. And let's give him a round. All right, my guy. All right, any other moments of gratitude this morning? I'm happy. Do you have one in the back? Here we go.
I am going for my dog because she is so generous and so kind, and she's doing the headshot today for the sign up for the offer to do a little photo shoot together.
Right, so not only do we have food in our meetings for those of you at home, but we also have babies. People are gonna talk puppies. Yeah, whatever we can do, just do, right? All right, thank you guys for the gratitude. I'm grateful that interest rates are coming down. I'm grateful that affordability is increasing. I'm grateful for the opportunities that I think are coming down the pipeline. So keep up the work, you guys. Next up, we have the man, the myth, the legend. Our organization, Tony Titus. Take it away, brother.
I don't know about legend, I don't even know about myth, but I'm glad.
Man. Yeah, you can't hear it in our friends at home.
Glad to be here. Don't forget about lunch. And then briefly two things. One, a bowl next week or the week after?
Overnight.
Night? Okay. So originally we said we were going to give $250 for every home when you take a buy on the buy side. Well, we changed it. We're going to do $100 for every listing and $250 for every buy side, or a rate, we'll do $100 for every refi. So we're going to do a coupon, and we're going to do it to all 200 agents. So we're going to be there to really help and encourage and hope that you guys do a lot of business. So we're excited to bowl. We're excited to be a part of it. We'll be there on the kickoff day, and we'll be there on the 13th, I think. So those 2 days. But we're going to do it for the entire 6 weeks. So we're going to really be there to help you agents along those 6 week track. So that's one. And two, well, what am I doing? You know what? Hold on. Let me think about that. Hold on.
You're in a senior moment.
There you go. Hold on. Changing the coupon. Oh, and then the deep dive. So when we start that October 3rd, October 3rd, we'll be doing the deep dive in 7 L.
Yep.
The book with Carla. We start that October 3rd. Steve's got a few books coming, so those of you who have not read that book, we'll be doing that for.
You even gave yourself a prop.
Oh yeah, I did.
I'll be your prop. I'm gonna
Yeah, here with the book. That is a great book. So if you haven't read it and you want to participate in a 6 week or 7 week, whatever it is, fantastic. Come join us every Thursday starting October 3rd, 10 to 11. Come be a part of this. It's a great book. So that's it. Thanks.
And that book, I think, for right, as I think Gary Keller's billionaire real estate agent, I think that book is the second best ever selling real estate related book.
It absolutely is, and here's what I like about it, is there's a lot of things that we struggle with as realtors to implement, right? This is something that is too easy to not implement. The Great Retrace is too easy to not implement as part of your business. You're looking for things that you can practically do moving into 2025 that you haven't done yet. This is going to be one of those moments. Carl is a great instructor, 1, and 2, you're going to be surrounded by people that are ready to make that move in their business. I think it's a pretty incredible course, and I think she does a really great job teaching it. We're going to open it up to some outside people as well, so get signed up if you haven't. We'll get some information out, but we'll see you guys on October 3rd. All right, let's move it along. Thank you, Martin. We appreciate you, and more than anything, I appreciate Chick-fil-A. That is awesome. All right. I've been banging this drum, you guys, for the last 4 weeks. As of right now, I don't think I'm going to beat that drum because guess what? It's full. It is full. At this point, I think we have, 2 or 3 seats that are accounted for, but not yet, registered. That's 2 or 3 out of 200 that for full step. We're about 285 as of this morning. Amy, does that sound right for first step of all?
Yeah.
Now we're going to be starting a wish list or a wait list for this. So be familiar with that, you guys. This is gonna be, we're gonna do some really cool stuff around this. We're gonna do some, bold groups. We're gonna be pushing the envelope. So continue to watch out for this. We have the biggest bold group we've had in at least the last 4 bold presentations here in the Twin Cities for our market center. We should finish at, we'll finish below our goal, unfortunately. What was there? Yeah, because it fills up so quickly. So, those of you that have signed up, great. I think this is gonna be, I legitimately do think that this is gonna be a pivotal moment for you if you make it back. If you're interested in attending first step, to see what it's like, you can determine whether or not you want to be one of the first to register next year. Come to first step and see what it's about. I do think that it's going to be intense. And again, the coach, the timing of the market, the opportunity available to you guys. Let's go. This is it. This is going to be a great time. So that's it for Bold. All right, BPC, Business Planning Clinic. We are going to be doing a couple of these. We're going to be, $99 at Cedars Hall is what they're doing for the region. It's on this call right now. We're also going to be doing, we're also doing. If you want to go and meet with somebody, if you want to go at a high level with Rebecca Goppozo, is fantastic. I've seen her on a bunch of company calls and stuff like that. In Maple Grove, or I'm sorry, it's going to be held at Cedars Hall, not far from here. But there's also going to be one that will be held here. So just be aware of that. And we'll be letting you know that that'll be facilitated by the one and only. Facilitate that. So be on the lookout for that. All right, thank you. Build a big team. There's something in here that I specifically wanted to support. But here's what we're going to be talking about. We're going to be talking about what it looks like to build a big team. Do any of you think there's going to be more opportunity? Well, yeah, there's going to be more opportunity or less opportunity in the next 18 months? More opportunity. So when we're thinking about this, when we go back to the idea that Gary Keller started Keller Williams International from one office, one phone in Austin, Texas, and called Keller Williams International. That was a stretch, to say the least. For you to be able to build a big team, that's not a stretch, that's a desire. If you want to do something like this, show up to this, have a conversation about what it looks like for you to build a team, what would it take to build a team, and what do the people on those teams look for? Jason and Shane are going to share their experience with us. I'm excited. So that's at the end of October, you guys. So we have some time the day before. I think that's acceptable, but the day. So be here for that as well. You guys are going to be talking about that. Another for our board. So many of you heard this last week, but I want to let you all know. Steve has graciously and very enthusiastically stepped into the representation role for KW Military in our market center. If you have somebody, or if you or someone you know in our market center is a vet, and how else can they participate?
Thank you again. That the KW Military started, I think you guys maybe 5 or 6, 7 years ago. And it was an outreach by some people who were very proactive realtors, Keller Williams, but they also had a history of being in the military. And so they started this. Wouldn't it be kind of cool if we all kind of got together? Maybe there could be kind of a way in which we could share some referrals back and forth. It was no more complicated than that, and it may have been 10 or 15 people. Well, now there's over 7,000, including, I think there's 10 or 12. I'm quite certain there's 10 or 12 of us in this real estate company that are also our veterans. So its basic premise is to do referrals, but this thing has grown and exploded from that premise, but also to do a lot of training and education. It also has grown to a point to not only be veterans, but it also will include people who are a mom or a dad of a veteran. It could be a young person whose mom or dad used to be a veteran. So it's really grown to thousands of people. We're going to take full advantage of that. It's in the right place at the right time to be what they call an ambassador for our office, of which there's now 800 of us or 820, however many offices we have in Quebec. So I'm going to be kind of leading that charge and delivering things that I think you guys will find advantageous. It's all new, but it's got some really cool pieces to it, which cost a grand total of nothing. I spend a couple of bucks a month just to do that. Mr. Big Shot.
Yeah. You have to pay to participate, and the rest you can do it for free.
So more on that later. It won't necessarily just be the, 10 or 11 of us who really are veterans, but it'll be people who might be a brother or a sister of a veteran. So all of the things in that regard, for training and education and really referrals, it's going to be a big deal. More on that later. Thank you.
No, I appreciate it, and as we continue to see community development, community could be demographic, it could be military, it could be hobbies, but as we start to see more focus on this, we're seeing opportunities to not to help them buy houses, right, but to help them do other things with contacts to age-related help for some of our military. I think this is very cool. I think it's very, very unique to us. So thank you for that, Steve. And if you or someone you know should be part of this, it's going to be a great opportunity for you to step in your battle weapons to try to help as many people buy.
With that in mind, what we'll probably do within the next few weeks is that Emmy will help put out on our calendar a certain day, and maybe it's going to be a 45 or 60-minute conversation about more details. So watch for that.
Maybe we'll have some MREs delivered that day. People can eat MREs that day. All right, thank you for next. Roll for the elected.
Oh my God. Okay, still getting lots of phone calls on where the commissions need to be. If you got the broker to broker on the listing contract and you get a purchase agreement where it's in the purchase agreement, you do not have your sellers sign both. That's two commissions. Make sure it's one or the other. So if you're a broker to broker on the listing contract, they need the broker compensation agreement. It does not appear on the purchase. If your broker to broker compensation is say 2.5%, and the other agent wants 3%, they're going to put 0.5 on the purchase agreement, not the whole 3%. It double dips into your seller's fund. Yes, question.
So I have a question. So if we have a broker to broker compensation form. Right. So if we have a broker to broker compensation form, we should just always assume that that is exactly what is being paid. So if anything shows up on line 406, it's also additional. Do you know what I mean? So even if they don't include that, like I left it, my 2 listings that sold this week and I left them on the kitchen counters. But when they put in the offer, they didn't include those, but it's out there. So it's still valid, even though it's just out there.
Yep.
Okay. You got it.
Yep. All right, and then at 2 o'clock, do we have anyone sign? We still have not for that, okay? So I probably limited it to 4, but we'll keep repeating it. I would literally have 2 purchase agreements this weekend off of my Google ads that I paid almost no money. Cool.
Here's what I'm. Here's these clues, right? That's something that you guys have heard before. If I was gonna follow anybody around the markets in terms of success and clues, it would be with Lynn. Why I say that? Because every time I meet with her, because we have meetings throughout the week, and she's constantly saying things like, we wrote 2 more, we're putting 2 more on the market. This came from this lead source, this came from this lead source. She's the only person in our market that are on a day-to-day basis of having that conversation with me at a real life level. You look at what she's doing in her business, and you look at the things she chooses to spend money on with her experience, they work. So you want to learn something new today, you can implement for relatively cheap and then it's wildly valuable, come today and be a part of it.
One Thursday yesterday that came in and we had another call today on the way here.
If you want your phone to ring, show up at 2 o'clock today and let's figure out how to make it.
Again, only four, I'm not good at enough.
Only 4.
I limited it to 4 people at a time, I'll repeat it.
Guess what? You guys are maxed out. If you're not one of those 4, we'll see you next time.
We'll keep doing it.
Yes, good job, though, you guys. Next up. Before you go on, I'm gonna do this intro, and we're gonna play a walk-up music for you. So Noah, you guys, 2 things from Noah that you should know. One is our relationship started because of a cold call. On a day that was a shit day for me, I was in the middle of 100 other things and I couldn't talk. But what he said to me, and why I think this is important, is because 1, cold calls do work, and 2, the relationship that has stemmed from this, Noah and Jacob Financial have put in a lot of work. One of the number 1 things we heard from you guys in here and in general at the last event we had was specific to some of you are making good money. Some of you are paying too much in taxes. Some of you do not have any retirement accounts set up. Some of you don't know there are tax advantages as a self-employed real estate agent, some of the opportunities you have. So we came this morning to a packed house. Imagine that. Here's the thing, you guys. Are you sick of making more money and spending more of it, sending more of it to Uncle Sam? If you like that, you can continue to do that. If you dislike that and would like to keep more of your money, let's set up a meeting with Noah. Secondly, they also have lines of insurance and other retirement products that you can use. He's going to talk about them. So Noah, come on up and let's talk a little bit about this and how they can be in touch with you, save some money on taxes, save some opportunities to retire. So there we go. Take it away.
Yeah. Thank you guys. Thank you. I'm really thankful to be part of this group here. You guys seem like a good group of people. Thank you to Nick for taking my call. You know, I'm sure everybody, when you were first starting out, you were grinding on the phones, door knocking, trying to get in front of as many people as you can. And I've got an awesome kickback from you guys, just because you understand the grind that we're experiencing right now, as well as you kind of career started. But Jacobs Financial, we've been established up in St. Cloud for about 50 years now. We're a financial services company, a group of independent wealth management advisors. And we just expanded now down to Maple Grove, where I office out of. So we're trying to get involved more in the metro area, and I've made it a priority to work with you guys because of kind of what Nick was saying. We want to help you guys eliminate taxes, create your own employee benefits package as a self-employed individual. So that's protecting yourself. We're both independent contractors here. We're both self-employed. So I understand what it's like to be your own boss, set your own hours, control your own level of income, but don't necessarily have the access to that employee benefits package that some W-2 employees or employees of the company might have. So you got that burden and responsibility on yourself to have those insurance products and have those retirement plans in place. So to the same tune that Nick was talking about with implementation, we help you guys implement those type of things. So if you guys happen to have any questions, I'll have some folders and some visuals. We had a conversation this morning here. I'll leave those up here and we'll send them to the people at home. But let's talk about your individual situation and how we can help you eliminate taxes and fund your futures and protect against any kind of setback. So yeah, thank you guys.
You look at the holistic approach to your business, you identify a part of that one thing in that part of your business that you could excel on. You start to take control of that part of your life, right? Whether it's your lead generation, whether it's spending time with your significant other, your family, and whether or not it's doing the right things that are going to help make you or give you the opportunity to make the right choices long-term for your business and your retirement. We talk a lot in our business about sales. Do you want to still be grinding it out at 65? For some of us, I would guess right? But maybe you don't want to. Give yourself that opportunity. And not only that, but you got a guy in Noah who is doing the same things that you're doing, fighting the same battles. Sometimes it's nice to have somebody that is in a real estate adjacent field to have some of those conversations with. And also to opportunity presents itself to provide value to some of your consumers. So thank you, Noah, and Jacobs Financial. We appreciate you guys. So Sean told me we have 30 minutes for me to talk to you guys. How about that? At least somebody said, wow. So we have a busy area, but none more important than a few things we have set up for you guys to talk about what's happening. More specifically with what Lynn is bringing to the table. She's got that this afternoon, and again, be a part of that discussion in the future.
We need needs and wants.
Yeah, I like needs and wants. Who has a want right now? In your business, thank you. I have a lot of wants, but none more than this. Go ahead.
Under, they want a minimum of 3 acres, 3 acres, 3 bedrooms, and at least garage.
All right, 3 acres, 3 bedrooms, under 400,000, and where?
Anywhere south of Princeton in the metro area.
Okay, we're south of Princeton. So if you have something like that coming on or something that you're looking at, reach out to Danny. Anybody else wants and needs? Buyers or sellers? We have another one.
3 acres, but I have a house in Brooklyn Center that I think is really cool because, I mean, it's like an old farmhouse, but we updated it. And the lot, I think it might only be a 1/3 acre, but it feels really big and it's really like quiet and secluded with big trees and it's fenced. And so it's in the middle of Brooklyn Center, but it's in this little area that feels like you're in the country.
You got a little country piece right there in Brooklyn Center.
Yeah.
And you're 10 minutes out of downtown if you want to be. There you go, 250. Or the price, 250. Oh, Peter and I might have to go and buy that together. Awesome. All right, we have a in-town rural oasis, if you will. We can get together and do the speaking notes later. All right, anybody else?
I need a clean duplex under 500. That'll go PA.
Clean duplex under 500 that'll go VA. It sounds like that, but you're not finding.
Like what?
Under 500, that'll go VA. Meet up with multiple offers. Got a strong VA buyer, but it's VA.
In the city or where? Do you want
He has gone from Blaine to Bloomington, Ridgefield, Brooklyn Park. And the owner occupied.
Anyway.
But Lynn's telling me that it's nice to have a liquor.
But I don't know if they'll go VA or not, but it should. Exactly.
Fine,
Yeah, look it up to make the connection. Anybody else need a connection here? All right, if you could give me 6 minutes, I'll give you back the rest of your time to eat more if you want and to just get back at it. Todd has talked a lot about this, and every single morning that Todd and I talk, when we talk with Beth as well from Maple Grove, you might know this, you might not. Todd does the same thing every single day pretty much. It's habit and it's comfortable because I know what we're looking for. So on Tuesdays, we usually talk market conditions. Does anybody know what today is? Or well, today and tomorrow? Fed meeting. Why is that important right now? To affect interest rates. We believe that we priced in about a 1/4 point, that the market has priced in about a 1/4 point in the rate reduction. We're seeing compression on the margin that exists between where the rate is and the rate that the consumer gets. These are good things. We're seeing compression in that margin space, which is making it more affordable, which is bringing it back into an alignment of about 1.4 basis points over where it should be. What I really want you guys to know is this. whatever happens in the next 24 hours with this, it probably is gonna have way more impact to the thought process than to the actual outcome right now. What do we need? Why do we need the consumer to be more comfortable with interest rates?
Bye.
Goodbye. Right now, if you look at interest rates, Mark and Renee, you probably have seen this, is reapplication, where people were getting a year and a half ago, a year ago, 9 months ago, were getting, well, not even. When interest rates were lower, as I screwed the slide, people that were approved could no longer qualify. Now we're seeing a huge number of people come back to the fold. Does that mean they're gonna buy right now, Raina?
No.
Does not mean they're gonna buy right now. So here's the conversation. We're building optimistic opportunities right now. What does that mean? It means that I don't think it's gonna get significantly busier. I don't think all of a sudden we're gonna see the floodgates open, because I don't think that's how our minds work. What other things do customers, consumers that you're talking to, besides looking for, what other things are they worried about and concerned with right now? The election?
Yes.
Right?
Economy
The economy in general, right? The legitimacy of where the stock market is, the concern about where affordability is, right? So you guys accepting this sometimes allows you an opportunity to have a much more forthright conversation with people. When people are asking me, it's right now, is this the time? Do I think right now is a great time to buy? Absolutely, right? Prices have remained relatively low because of this. If prices are low, interest rates are coming lower. What do you think is going to happen if interest rates come down? Well, as of this morning, Todd was suggesting that there could be as many as 17 rate cuts between now and 26. I don't think there's going to be that many. I think it'll be less, but possibly more. So the question that I have for you guys is, I'm going to implore you to do this. Work through this right now. Work through the next 3 months with a fever, a passion, a consistency. I do believe that early next year, we are going to come into a time where there's going to be more opportunity than any of us have seen, probably since 20 or 21. Do I think we'll have the same number of transactions? No, but we're gearing towards, this is per Todd, and Todd's a numbers guy. I'm not writing, Elizabeth. He believes that we're going to attract 5.1 million transactions. That means 10.2 million transaction size. It's still 20% off of where we were at our peak in 21, but it gives you guys an increase in your business over this year as agents of another 1.2 million transaction size that will happen here in the United States. What does that look like usually on a percentage-wise or an action for Minnesota transaction? Does anybody know? Somewhere near 4,000 additional transactions that will come into the market, into the marketplace side, which gives us the 20,000, which makes up the difference between where we are and where we think we're going. So math matters. What I tell you again though is you can't, if you're not making the cold calls, if you're not doing the open houses, if you're not putting up whatever the events you're hosting for your business between now and the end of the year, they can be great big events, seminars, they can be happy hours. But if you're not in front of your clients right now, there's going to be another agent who is, because it's going to be that time, it's going to be that time in the cycle to get really serious. So my imploring of you guys is get in communication with your clients. I've met with a number of you already this week about getting your database. Martin is in the room. If you're not actively using command, and believe me, it's hard to admit, and you really should, and you just don't want to, and there's a ton of stuff to do, yes. But once you do it, you guys, you have the ability to immediately be in 2 places at once. If you're not going to be in 2 places at once, how are you going to double up the amount of opportunities you have? You're not. Take advantage of this because you're paying for it, and because Marty is a really incredible resource for you to use on how to automate certain things in your business so that you can do more business. So that is it, you guys. That is your team. You can go kick some ass, go help somebody today. There's some food in back. There's lemonade. There you will talk to one another. Emmy, what's up next? Roundtable discussion starting at. All right, we're gonna have a little less than an hour. Go make it happen. See you guys there. Roundtable.